So we're here with Brad.
Right.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for bringing this down, man, in this amazing 28-degree day with your Evo 8. Tell us a little bit about it. How's it come into your possession and why, basically?
So, it's my second Evo, I'm not going to lie. First one didn't end too well. So
yeah, you said off camera, like, a little bit of an interesting story on that.
Yeah, there's a story about that. So we went for round 2, went for an RS this time. We started off last time with a normal GSR FQ, so a 320 to start off with, which was running about 550 brake. That was a 2-litre long rod, so a little bit different to this. We'll go through in a bit. But so before that, really, I was mainly with German cars. So in the past, I had BMWs. Before moved to an Evo, I had an S5, 3-litre supercharged, running an MRC stage 2.
What made you change?
Just really what the car was being used for. The S5, I had it. I've got a daily as well that I use every day. So S5 sat there during the week really, and got used at weekends, but didn't really feel it was enough of a weekend car. It's a lovely car, fully loaded with everything you ever asked for, but
just didn't excite you. Like, I've heard that a lot. Like,
yeah,
it's super fast.
Yeah, super fast, quick off the line. Like, literally, if you want to go do some drags against some people in a VXR, yeah, you're gonna love it. But apart from that, it's not really what you feel in the bends and going out to do things in.
Yeah, and like this could be half the power, and it sort of feels just completely different, doesn't it?
Yeah, no one really like looks at an S5 either, do they? It's not an appreciated car, whereas old Jap things are a lot more community appreciated through people, I think.
And it just takes a bit more dedication to sort of get there as well, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of stuff you need to tweak to make something perform.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, with a German car, you can go take it to any sort of Revo dealership and
yeah, no, exactly.
Get 800 quid, stage 1 done, you've got an extra
just plug it in, man.
800 brake out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
The same, literally what happened with the S5. The MRC tune, give him a bit of money, change the supercharger, pulley in the belt. There you go, it's an extra 120 horsepower for the grand, which that's like.
And just, doing not much at all.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
But that's how German cars built, isn't it? Solid underneath, ready, they're always underpowered out the factory, whereas a lot of the time you'll find Japs are nearly on their limit or just need a little bit more just to get it there, really.
They need a lot of oily stuff done, basically.
Yeah.
Exterior wise, mate, obviously it's really nice and like subtle touches, but as you start to dig deeper, there's a lot of stuff done. I don't know if we can walk around and show us a little bit. Moving swiftly onto your wheels, mate.
Yeah.
They are what we say, Weds?
Yeah, Wed Sports, TZ5s. So very light. Don't see many of them.
Are they're forged?
Yeah. So I think the 2C105X is classed as. They do a Tier 5C as well, I think. Yeah. But the X is just meant to be a bit light, it's a newer version, and something to do with what they've done on the back of the spokes. These have had a bit cut off. So
oh right, so they're literally almost
to make them more lighter. That's all it is. There's only different.
Tiny bit of material taken out.
That's the only thing they've done between the different two. So yeah, so they're 18s on here.
And the good old Advan Yovas.
Yep, the originals.
Lovely.
So they're the. No, they only do the RS. They don't do the AD08.
They stick like shit to a blanket, don't they?
Yeah,
they are brilliant.
The R's do. The RS is now a bit debatable. So next would probably have to be some R888s. R's maybe.
Oh really?
Yeah. Not many people have got on very well with the new Advans, unfortunately. So
on here, lovely big brakes. You said you were gonna thinking about big brake in the back, but it's just the major cost, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a major cost. So AP racing on the front, 6 pots, probably looking $2.5 grand for a front set there.
It's pretty paying.
Pads, 280, 300 quid.
But a great upgrade, right?
Great upgrade for something like this.
Yeah.
The rear, a lot of people leave the standard Brembos on the rear, to be fair, because they are manly enough for what it needs. Obviously, the car itself weighs 1,200 kilos. You
were saying because you haven't got a bias or anything, and if you did have bigger brakes at the back, you said it makes it a bit tail happy, didn't you?
Yeah, so you have to be a bit careful. Some people even offset the pads, pads front to rear, just because if you go too big on the back, it will nip up quite quickly. All the weight is obviously at the front of it, so people have their own opinions.
There's literally nothing at the back to hold it down, is there, to be fair?
So, especially with the boot strip, there's nothing in the boot. Literally, all the only weight is the back is the differential. Tank, that is it. It's all got that there.
So you'll see it fit like it feels completely different on an empty tank. Yeah. Can we jump in the engine?
Yeah, we can. Open up. We've got some APR mirrors on the side as well. They've just been put on.
with custom little plates.
Yeah.
Super clean.
Yeah, they weigh nothing at all. Can't see a lot happen, but
your visibility might not be great.
Yeah,
but
the roll cage shouldn't help with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have a look under it. There's not a lot in left, untouched. Not gonna lie.
I mean, obviously, the main striking thing is the lovely full race manifold.
Yes.
It'll be a shame if we have to change that.
It's Zerkotech coded, so it is in white. Obviously, people think it's to match the car, but white is actually one of the best heat dissipation colours. What they make through Zerkotech, so that should remove quite a lot of the heat from the engine bay itself and keep it away from the turbo. A lot of people run a shield, so you can run a shield, but obviously, as you can see, the turbo's quite large and you haven't got much play.
It's massive.
We've already had a few incidents hitting the back of the radiator before, so that's now solid mounted for that reason.
And obviously, your air intake comes through here, ends
so
there.
It's got a little pickup air duct at the bottom just to bring some fresh air in.
It's super clean. Obviously, your intake as well is all different as well.
Yeah, so we run through, obviously, it's all fed via, this is a 4-inch intake from Ross Sport.
Yeah.
Via K&N, just normal, I think 12-inch filler. So turbo, it's running known developments, GBT 6176, based on a Garrett GT30 pretty much. They just take it, soup up a bit, change a few bits with it. Usually they rate them to around 580 brake, roughly, depending on obviously all your ancillaries to go along with it. From there, straight through to the intercooler at the front, all 3-inch lines up to there. Teal blow-off valve, and then into, like you said, the JMF custom intake. So still running the standard throttle body though. Don't really need to change them. They're pretty good. People change them maybe when you're hitting.
I suppose keeps costs down as well.
If it ain't needed, I might do it in the future, but people run them to about 800 brake to be fair.
Ain't broke, don't fix it, you know.
Exactly. So yeah, runs through there. Fuel wise, we're running a Walbro 450 fuel pump.
And you don't need to uprate that.
No, it's good at this power. If I want to jump up to the next band, we have to have a double pumper put in.
God, yeah.
But running RC 1000 injectors at the moment, soon to be changed out for injector dynamic 1000s, just because to get a better spray pattern. So that'll be fresh map when I'm going back for another little tweak in about 3-4 weeks time. So that'll then be changed then. And
you said at the moment she's running about 6...
Yeah, about 627. 627 on the last dyno and 590 newton meters.
And you're in this sort of moral debate now, aren't you, of wanting to raise power, but then it's going to make it undrivable for street or less enjoyable on street.
The block itself is rated to 1,000 horsepower. So Norris Designs block, they built it, put it on their test rig and tested to 1,000 brake. So that's what it's been rated to. So the block is sound. The head is all stock. Port wise, it's got standard size valves, just uprated springs, Kelford 272 cams running it. So all that block itself is all good to go. The head, people, well, there's a bit of debate about that. Some people do bore them out, some people don't.
So there is just not much restricting you to actually start raising it.
No, it's literally all it will need is larger turbos. You go for the GT30.
Yeah.
So GT35 turbos currently running GT30.
But then trying to keep that spooling is...
Yeah, so literally it's no lag at the moment. Spools up about 3,200, 3,500 RCM.
It's perfect, isn't it, really?
Full boost by 4. And limit is set at 8. It's set at 8.
Have you researched what the bigger turbo would take to start spooling? Or
varies. Because it's a stroker, it wouldn't be much more, to be fair. It wouldn't be as much as you think. You'd probably be hitting 4.5.
I suppose that's quite noticeable though, isn't it?
It's noticeable, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, but it varies really. It's the other stresses it puts on the stuff for me. But from that, obviously we've got a screamer pipe on there as well after there. That might have to be changed at some point.
Make it sing. We'll capture it before you have to remove it.
Yeah.
Pole position Recaros.
Yep.
Genuine Takatas.
Yep.
Which is lovely. Didn't go for the bright green. Just
No, it's a bit much for me. It's a little bit too much. It's a bit more subtle.
the first thing I noticed, obviously, when I looked in first, was the fact that you've just a simple blanking plate. You say you're going to replace this section with a digital.
So the plan is pretty much leave the centre section where the heater controls is itself.
Yeah.
And down here is where the glove box would have been. Obviously, because roll cage fitted, you can't actually gain access to the glove box. So the plan is that blanket pallet there is to make something out of aluminium and mount some sort of Surface Pro Microsoft tablet in, which can then run with the Link ECU. So you literally get a digital dash for your readouts. That's the main thing we plan to do for now, and in the future it would be nice to actually replace the clocks.
And that'll get rid of the problem of the assuming on that
Seeing
the cage. I mean, you can, if you bend your head round, you can probably see half of your.
You can see half the boost cage and half your oil. The boost one ain't too bad. The top oil pressure was one. That's a bit of a nightmare to see.
It's just that little annoyance, isn't it? Because it's so like everything's so close. Yeah,
it is. And obviously you can see that is right away in this mirror as well. But it is what it is.
Safety.
You don't need
that's fine.
It. So yeah, inside pretty much. Pretty standard, to be fair. Nothing really that changed. A few custom-made things.
It's a nice street car. Like you would never really want to take out the seats unless you're, as you said, off camera. Yeah. That whole seat delete that you're going to try and get.
So I've been having a look. It's quite hard to find them. They do a carbon fibre seat delete. So all it does is replaces your rear seats with like a shell platform. So the seats, obviously, as the harnesses are at the moment, you can't really use them anyway.
I suppose it will give you a nice platform that you can have like a luggage net or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's a bit more usable, really.
So yes, the underneath, the drivetrain and stuff. Yeah. Any changes there?
So it's running a 5-speed RS gearbox, which would have come from factory, being the RS model. Means it's really close ratio. Good for acceleration. Really good for acceleration. Not so good for top end. Potentially thinking about changing the 5th gear ratio just to get some more top end out of it, but that'll be a thing for the future. It's got a carbon prop shaft fitted, so just reduces a bit of the stress between the transfer boxes and the rear diff, just because obviously when you're running that sort of power and the shock of it can sort of cause issues in the future.
Did that cause any change to the drivability? Like, does it feel nicer in any way? Or?
Not really. It is more just literally for weight saving, and just so that car doesn't have to sling so much weight around. Obviously, it's a lot lighter for that. So
yeah, I would have, like, my naive brain, I would have thought it would have a slight effect of like a light on flywheel, but
probably, a little less vibration and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But mainly, probably because it's got a brand new knuckle joints on. You know what I mean? It's probably 10-year-old knuckle joints on, maybe a lot older than that, 15 years old. So nice one for that. Run Meister are coilovers, so sits pretty good height at the moment. Relatively firm.
Like, it's a super clean car, like a really well done package, isn't it?
Pretty proud how it ended up. Power, like we said, 627 brake, 590 pounds-foot. It's pretty sweet.
I mean, that is enough for the street, isn't it? To be fair, in a car that weighs what, like 1,200 or something?
1,200 kilos. So power to rate ratio, you can work that out. Over 400 brake per tonne.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
That's pretty good. Considering when you look at some Porsches and things like that, what they do, it's nuts.
I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing this in a second, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, open her up a tiny bit.
Yeah, it's pretty noisy.
But no, thanks, man. We'll get on the road.
No worries.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, your face is on like that.
Always does, man.
That was fast.